the sense they'll never know, what gender surgery steals from the soul. Welcome to the Extinction of Gender series. I'm Adeline Atlas, 11-time published author, and in this series, we're stepping into territory that few dare to explore, not out of rebellion, but out of reverence. This is not about politics. This is not about hate. This is about asking the deeper questions behind the collapse of something sacred: gender, polarity, and the energetic design of being human. In this first video, we begin with what may be the most controversial and important topic of all: gender reassignment surgeries on children. And specifically, what happens when we remove a human sense before it's ever been activated. What's being lost here is not just tissue, not just fertility, not just sexual function. What's being lost is a core sense, an entire human circuit that fuels identity, creativity, passion, and purpose. A sense they will never know. Let's begin with the obvious. A child who undergoes gender reassignment surgery at 6, 8, or even 12 years old has not yet experienced puberty. Most have never had an orgasm. They haven't experienced the biological ignition of adult sexuality. They haven't discovered the energetic power of that function, the way it fuels bonding, ambition, creative force, even spiritual clarity. And once the surgery is done, most of them never will. That's the truth nobody wants to say out loud. In many cases, early surgical gender transitions leave the child permanently sterile, without erogenous sensation, and with an altered nervous system that can no longer generate or interpret sexual pleasure. But more than that, it severs the connection to the sexual energy system itself. And that energy system is not just about sex. It's about life force. You see, in ancient systems of understanding, from Chinese medicine to Tantra to Kabbalah, sexual energy is understood as the same force that gives rise to all forms of creation. This energy originates in the sacral chakra. It is the source of desire, vitality, expression, magnetism, and manifestation. It births children, yes, but it also births ideas, books, movements, businesses, visions. It's what fuels motivation. It's what charges your goals with intensity. It's the reason you move forward. And in many spiritual systems, this energy must be properly awakened and cultivated to evolve the soul. Now imagine cutting off that circuit before it's ever been turned on. Imagine surgically removing the architecture required to house that energy, before the child even knows what it feels like, before they've had the experience of adult connection, orgasmic release, hormonal bonding, or intimate vulnerability, before they've known what it means to be turned on, not just sexually, but existentially. This isn't about orientation. This isn't about who you love. This is about what happens to your energy system when a core human circuit is bypassed, cut, or numbed before it matures. A 10-year-old can decide to change their name or their clothes. But should they be allowed to remove the biological organ system that connects them to their creative fire? For life? Let's go deeper. In my book Soul Game, I talk about the connection between sexual energy and spiritual momentum. This isn't theory. It's observable. People who are in touch with their sexual energy, not just the act, but the essence, tend to be more focused, more magnetic, more ambitious, more alive. That doesn't mean they have a high sex drive. It means they're plugged in. They're tapped into a primal surge of power that fuels their soul's expression. They're grounded in their bodies, in their purpose, in their polarity. Now ask yourself, what happens to a generation of people who are never given that access point? Who are surgically removed from their natural polarity before they even taste it? We're creating something entirely new, a class of surgically neutered souls. People who will never know what was lost, because they never got to feel it to begin with. That's the tragedy. This isn't about regret, it's about ignorance. You can't regret a sense you never got to experience. You can't mourn a bond you never felt. But the absence is there, humming underneath the surface. A loss that never had a name. And let's talk about the long-term cost. Many of these children, as they become adults, report confusion, depression, anhedonia, the inability to feel pleasure, not just sexually, but generally. They feel numb, flat, unmotivated. They struggle to create, to build, to focus. They feel disconnected from their own bodies, and no one tells them that maybe, just maybe, it's because a crucial human circuit was never allowed to activate. That maybe their loss of joy, purpose, or vitality has less to do with gender identity and more to do with energy deprivation. Because when you lose access to sexual energy, you lose access to a spiritual fuel tank. You lose creative fertility. You lose your energetic compass. You lose your hunger for life. And here's the most chilling part. This is being done not only with permission, but with praise. Children are being celebrated for making these decisions. They're being fast-tracked through gender clinics, validated by therapists, reinforced by schools, cheered on by media. And yet, nobody's asking the real question. What does it mean to lose a sense you never knew existed? What does it mean to be denied the chance to feel yourself awaken? To feel desire rise up from within, not as lust, but as life force? What happens to a society where this entire energetic layer is surgically muted before it even flickers on? And let's be honest, this isn't happening in a vacuum. We're seeing this push during the same era where fertility is collapsing, sperm counts are vanishing, and reproduction is being outsourced to labs. At the same time, gender is being flattened, polarity is being erased, and young people are being told that the body is a costume, not a vessel. There's a reason this is all happening together. When you remove gender, reproduction, and sexual energy, you remove sovereignty, you remove fire, you remove will, and the result? A disconnected, passive, programmable population. Souls who have never known the depth of their own circuitry, who cannot reproduce, who cannot create, who cannot feel the full range of their own humanity, and worse, who don't know what they've lost, because the loss happened before memory, before awakening, before initiation. This isn't progress. This is deprivation. This is extinction, not just of gender, but of power, of the sacred fire that fuels the soul's path. And we must be willing to say it. This series is not here to shame anyone. It is not here to mock, ridicule, or attack personal identity. This is about spiritual mechanics, biological design, and the devastating consequences of bypassing a sense that was meant to awaken naturally and to light a fire within the soul that would guide its destiny. Because when that sense is gone, so is the ignition point, the creative womb, the energetic climax, the sacred spark, the drive to build, to connect, to become. What we are watching is not liberation. It is a quiet erasure of human circuitry, a reprogramming of the soul's path before it ever begins. And that is not progress. That is theft. This is extinction of gender. And we are just getting started. Hi, I am Adeline Atlas, 11 times published author, and SOS, School of Soul has a brand new series, the AI and Future Technology series. Look, you know the world is changing. And no, it's not going back to normal. Normal is over, and what's coming next is beyond anything we were prepared for. The School of Soul, AI and Future Technology series includes 319 videos on 1. The Download Society, How Data Has Replaced Destiny. 2. Predictive Future. Your next moves aren't random, they're forecasted. 3. Social Credit Systems. The behavioral economy now governs access. 4. Hive Mind. Synthetic telepathy and collective algorithmic control. 5. Nanobots inside you. Medical, military, and programmable intrusions. 6. Grief Tech. AI-fueled digital resurrection and simulated comfort. 7. Uploading your mind, consciousness transfer, and data-based identity. 8. Deep fakes plus AI clones, the replication of reality and identity theft. 9. Quantum humans, the merger of biology with quantum systems. 10. Digital afterlife, where your data goes when you die. 11. Resurrection science, reviving life through synthetic methods. 12. Immortal science, the end of death as we know it. 13. Longevity science, gene editing, anti-aging, and bio-upgrades. 14. Designer babies, engineered perfection before birth. 15. Artificial wombs, birth decoupled from the female body. 16. 3D printing, printing organs, limbs, and even humans. 17. The humanoid era, the rise of synthetic beings among us. 18. Legacy humans, the slow phase-out of unmodified analog people. 19. Smart cities, algorithmic environments that watch and decide. 20. Cloud-based societies, citizenship without borders or bodies. 21. Hackable humans, emotion, memory, and behavior under code. 22. Biometric scanning, your body is your password and your prison. 23. Sex tech, intimacy reprogrammed by machines. 24. Extinction of gender, fluidity, deletion, and design of identity. Every topic is fully explored with real-world technologies, patents, case studies, ethical analysis, and future forecasts. These aren't someday discussions. This is already happening. Join the SOS School of Soul Vault to overstand the future before it's implemented on you.